Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Today we're going to do a twin flame reading. Okay, everyone take a deep breath, ground in your seat, and open yourself up to receive this transmission. All right, masculine's on the left, feminine's on the right, union energies down the center. Okay, Spirit, what do we need to know about the masculine collective? What are we confronting on the path? What are the blocks showing up, and what are the solutions to those blocks for the highest and best good of self and the planet? What would you like to share with us? Okay. Anything else? All right, we have a lot. We have enough masculines. Okay. This came out sideways. Let me do everything else first. We have chaos and conflict. We have fork in the road. We have the fates. And the first card that came out that kept spinning, but I'm going to take it as an upright, is truth be told. Masculines are confronting... Sorry, this isn't on camera. Let me zoom out. There we go. Masculines are confronting anywhere in their lives where they've been masking their hearts. A lot of vulnerability is arriving on the scene right now. There is a choice point that the masculine collective, I feel like I have to say this every reading. Remember, when you listen to these readings, whether it's masculine or feminine, first listen to it as if it's your own internal energy. Really put on those ears. Really listen as if it applies to your internal situation first. And then you could listen to it as if it's something external, either a person, if you have a person in mind, or if it's a collective energy that's moving through the collective right now. So I read collective energies, and sometimes they fractal out and mirror back to us parts of our own journey, and sometimes they are mirroring the collective. Sometimes those things are the same. Sometimes they're a little nuanced and a little different. But just, I got to hammer it home in every reading that we all have both energies within us, and this journey of hierogamy, this journey of relating to the world and environment around us, is a path of inner union. We can't come into outer union before we first come into inner union. And let me tell you, the inner union is the training ground. It's the laboratory. It's the place where you can work all of this stuff out, and then the rest will follow. The external world, the realm of matter, will follow. Okay, back to this masculine reading here. Yeah, something has been planned for you, masculines. You know, this is written in the stars for you, that you were meant to take off your mask at this specific time. You're meant to, kind of a separate message, but along those same lines. You know, sometimes when we use so much of our divine, precious life force to maintain a mask, we sometimes forget what's actually the truth and what's actually this creation that we're feeding with what we think should be the truth, or what we think we should be saying or doing, or the person we should be with, or the job we think we should have. When all of that is falling away, masculines, all of this chaos and conflict is from you not standing in your truth, from you not crossing the finish line that has been rightfully yours the entire time. I'm getting a visual of a parallel race. It's like you've been running in this race, but you're really not running in the right one. So you haven't been able to reach a finish line because it's not your race. I mean, that visual makes sense. It's in alignment with, right, if you're wearing a mask of something and you get put in a race, or you choose to enter a race as something else, as someone else, it's not going to be in alignment, right? The realm of matter takes orders from the realm of spirit, from the realm of energy. Everything that exists in the world first existed in the realm of energy. So we have to be honest. I'm not finding the words for it, but we have to honor that appropriate order of operations of things. right? Carolyn Mace always says that the realm of matter is the caboose of the train, meaning it's the thing that follows. It's not the conductor cab of the train. It's the caboose. It's the back end. So we have to really correct any sort of anywhere in our lives where that order of operations isn't in that way. Something else is coming through. Hold on. I need a sip of water. You know, some of you delicious masculines have been trying so hard to make something happen in 3D, but it might not be coming to fruition, or you're being met with obstacle after obstacle and block after block. We have to honor sometimes that if the universe is making something really difficult for us, and I'm talking extremely difficult, I mean something that would really not make sense difficult, we have to honor that that might be the divine pushing that thing out of our lives. And so many of us, because of our humanity, tend to cling on to those things that so deeply want to leave our lives. And then, you know, that's the lesson. That's the work that's showing up on our side of the street, to really get really in touch with our intuition so that we can recognize when something naturally wants to leave our lives. Okay. Is there anything else to say about that, Spirit? That's the basic message. So let's get everything else out. Let's do feminines. Feminine spirit. All right. What do we need to know about the feminine collective? What are they confronting? What are the blocks showing up on their path? What are the solutions to those blocks? What do we need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? Anything else? Anything else? That's it. One message. Nothing else. There we go. Of course, right when I say, okay, we have a change in the wind. All right, feminines, let's see. Ooh, these are two great cards to get together. We have poised and the here and now. Yeah, you're ready. Whatever you've been doing, feminines, I mean, Feminine Collective has been working really hard in solitude, in isolation, really unplugging from all that no longer serves, to get themselves present, right? When we're consumed with worry over the past or stressed about the future, it robs us of our present moment. It robs us and distracts us from accessing all of our gifts, all of our faculties, all of our sensory system to hear, to feel, to intuit our intuition, to perceive our intuition accurately. And when we're not connected with our intuition, our discernment is out of whack. We're not connected to the mechanism that gives us wise discernment. And so whatever you've been doing, feminines, congratulations, because you are poised and ready. Your system has been primed. You are like good to go with whatever this change is. Is there anything else, Spirit, you want to say about this change? Anything else? Thank you. That's a lot of messages. Let me just see what they are really quick. We have blessed in reverse, deep knowing. That's really interesting. And then by the book. Sorry, I could do this on camera. I just find it interesting. These two cards are in reversed. Some of you are really uncomfortable following your intuition because it's asking you to throw out the rule book. This is an 11 card in reverse. Some of you, all right, this could be an ego block. How do I want to say this, Spirit? How do you want me to say this, Spirit? Yeah, some of you, okay, thank you. I'm going to approach this with a little bit more empathy and compassion. Feminine, some of you, because of what you've been through, whether it's trauma or just regular being a dominant feminine in this patriarchal world, some of you have made an association that maintaining control of every little thing equals safety. By being in control of everything, by doing everything, quote unquote, by the book, it is what brings you blessings. It is what brings in your groundedness, your stability, your love, your success, your whatever. And I'm here to say that is being dismantled. what is being repaired is your deep knowing that no matter what flavor of chaos is being thrown at you, all of the skills and techniques and tools that you have achieved on this path will get you through this. You can hold your center for love in any flavor of chaos. But something that might stop you is this sort of egoic control, the idea that you think you know better. I'm here to tell you that this change and the way this change is going to unfurl in your life is not going to be what you expect. So hear me saying that now and put a little, pin in that in your brain. Understand that when your life is unfolding and you're trying to grasp onto it, you're trying to really not let go of the old way. Remember my words. It's time to surrender and open yourself up to a new way of being. I just realized there's a little, hold on, sorry, I have to look at this in real life. There's a little figure in this little gazebo on this zebra's back. I don't know if it's coming out on camera. Let me see if I could. Not really. It looks like a fairy. I think it has wings. Sorry, I've never seen that before. How does that factor into the story, Spirit? Just simply braving the storm. That you can brave whatever storm arrives. For some of you, this wind, by the way, is blowing south. I've never addressed that on this card before. That is interesting. The wind is blowing south. This could be a nod to you are being, blown into the underworld. You are descending. And when we descend into the shadows, that is where we can illuminate the darkness. There's something here, feminines, that's holding you back. That's out of your consciousness. So this is, I know, sorry if that sounded scary, but this is nothing but wonderful. This is a wonderful thing because whatever's holding you back or whatever safety you think you had in this idea of controlling everything is because of a reason. Maybe you were brought up in a house or had parents that really were out of control in some capacity. Maybe they were messy. Maybe they were reckless with money. Maybe you never knew if there was going to be enough food or if the utilities were going to be taken care of. There's some messiness in childhood that has made you want to find safety in being able to control everything. And while that's true on as adults, we have to take responsibility and, take accountability for the daily necessities, right? Food, water, shelter, paying our bills, chop wood, carry water, all of those sort of daily human adult activities. But in certain deeper nuanced areas of your life, this micro control is actually hindering your growth, feminines. Okay. I'm just going to keep it there. That was a deep, deep message. Let's move on to union energy, Spirit. Union energies. What do we need to know for the inner union, for the hierogamy? Oh, I'm going to cry immediately. We have milk and honey. And this sweet little, let me hold it up. I don't know if you could see this sweet little elephant having fun, just bathing in this beautiful bowl of milk and honey. The land of milk and honey. It's a very sweet with a freaking rainbow over its head. Oh, goodness. Anything else for union energies? Okay, we have yin. This is the feminine energy. I'm emotional because it's some of us have been doing this work for a long time. And, the way transcendence works or the way oneness enters the crevices of our lives is that we get a tiny micro peak of it. We get a micro feeling of oneness, and it's not meant to, sorry, I'm just overcome by that beauty. We're not meant to hold oneness in us all the time. It's impossible. It's too painful, to be honest, to live in that complete ecstasy and bliss. It's too powerful. We wouldn't even be able to function as humans if we were able to live in that oneness 24/7. It's like a blissed out high ecstatic state of being. And it's funny to say it because I think a lot of people are pursuing that as a goal, but it's really not healthy. And I've lived this way for a very long time. Most empaths do because they feel everything. And our work as empaths is to learn how to hold the world suffering without being consumed by it, and learning about our own boundaries around where we end and other people, places, and things begin. And I teared up getting this card because there's such a beautiful feminine flow coming in as we come in a deeper collective relationship with oneness, with inner union, honoring this divine inner marriage. Another whole point, those of you that follow me, I'm not a fluffy reader. I'm honest. My methodologies and academics and my background is in deep, rigorous study. And so I like to keep things really honest and grounded. This twin flame path is not a fairy tale path. This is a path of taking radical accountability for what's showing up on your side of the street, and then bringing love to whatever that is, bringing self-acceptance, releasing shame, releasing any sort of criticism, and taking aligned action towards your deepest soul's resonance. All right. We also have unfinished, oh God, okay. Sorry, I'm just cracking up. Unfinished symphony and clean it up. So there might be something in the collective here that has to do with healing the feminine energy, cleaning up any unfinished business. Maybe this is directly like the masculine has to clean it up with the feminine, or we all have to clean it up with our inner feminine. For particularly women watching or people who identify as dominant feminine, because the collective has been flowing with a patriarchal context for so many years, a lot of times we imbue ourselves with the culture that's around us. So a lot of these dominant feminines have had sort of an unconscious internalized patriarchy, and that's why I think sometimes certain feminine energies have allowed so much, because it's just the indoctrination of these energies and how we've worked with them in the past. But what's happening now is that we are finishing the story and starting another one. We're not just turning the page on another chapter, we are closing the book and we are starting a new book on what feminine energy is. I'm going to be vulnerable here and say this, and I was always scared to say this out loud for the majority of my life, but now I understand it and why it's okay to say it out loud. I think the word patriarchy has been vilified, and of course, it has its own meaning in our modern culture, but really, take away all of the cultural context of it, it's just a masculine dominated, energy. And there are some cultures out there that are matriarchal cultures. And it's funny, what they have found is that in those cultures, there's much more peace and much more balance and much more equitable distribution of societal duties and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to generalize, but these ideas are very interesting to me. And I've always been drawn to matriarchy, to what that could mean. And I finally, at 40 years old, I'm finally comfortable enough to say it, because I've read enough in mysticism and different ideas from so many different spiritual people and spiritual cultures. And the matriarchal lineage contains the masculine and the feminine. And so I think that's why I've always been drawn to it, because I know there's an inherent inclusivity. So whereas socially constructed this patriarchy term that's been polluted by the patriarchy and by this just years and years of pain and suffering and inequality and injustice and all the darker things, Where am I going with this, and why is this important, Spirit? Yeah, and then even, we all start out as feminine, right? When we're down on a chromosomal level, it's, everyone starts off as feminine. I find these ideas that are all coming together very interesting, that it's, to me, a matriarchal society isn't one where women rule over men. It's one where it's ruled by mother energy, by this like profound love. And I was really scared to say that for a long time, because I couldn't sort it out in my own heart yet, but it was something that I felt for years. I mean, and I have undergrad work in women's studies. I have a graduate degree in women's studies, and I've studied systems of oppression and social injustice for many, many years, like rigorously. And it was so painful, so much pain, so much, it's probably the worst thing for an empath to go into, but clearly I was drawn to it to flex my empath muscles and learn how to, again, hold the world's suffering without getting consumed by it. And man, was I tested. All right, moving on. My whole point here is I find it interesting that in the union energies, we both masculine and feminines, we're getting this yin energy. So something is being cleaned up and rebalanced in the feminine collective. And when the feminine is appropriately placed on her throne, that is what ushers in the land of milk and honey and opportunity and balance and riches and rich soil to grow from, and rich harvests and rich alignment. Like, there's so much beauty in this. I find it also, I just can't believe these cards came out together. I'm really drawn. So we have Unfinished Symphony. Of course, it's a 10 card, because when you think about a 10, so the 0 is often like a closing of the loop, right? It's like a cycle has been completed, and 1 is like the first step you take after you finish this unwritten story, after you finish this symphony, for lack of a better word. When you clean up what's showing up, what's blocking the feminine flow within self and other. Mind you, masculines, this is for you as well. We're all cleaning up our relationship with our inner feminine. What's blocking it? What's driving it? What are the hidden agendas? Let's get this stuff out in the open so we could actually take radical accountability and provide ruthless love towards taking a next step towards deeper soul alignment. I didn't even look because there was so much on the table, but let's look what's in the unconscious. I mean, come on. We have Treasure Island. It's like some of us, I mean, all of us, this is for everyone. Some of what's blocking this union is our belief in that it could actually work. I get it. Listen, it's like pushing a boulder up a hill. I get how difficult this journey has been, but part of what is also in our scope of responsibility is the faith. Is the belief and faith that this could actually happen, that you have what it takes to carry this world on your back and receive the treasures that this union might bring us. I'm sorry, will bring us, not might, will bring us. Wow. Okay. That was a lot. That was a lot. Spirit, where do you want to go next? All right. Do a quick shuffle. Interesting. My nose just started running, and it's for me, that's like when that happens during this, there's a purification process happening. There's something, we're really cleaning out the basement, cleaning out the attic, really, really taking accountability for what are we storing in our interior castle, right? Is your attic and basement just full of old boxes, old memories, old pain and trauma, old limiting beliefs that no longer serve you? It's time to unpack them. That's it. All right, Spirit, anything else for union energies? What do we want to know? What do you want us to focus on? Anything else? Thank you. Anything else? Wow, I think we got this last time in our last, hold on, that's too many. Spirit, please be more specific. Anything else? Thank you. Okay. Let's just start with the unconscious before I get into anything else. We have Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. Yeah, some of you are pushing away help or not even acknowledging that you can ask for help on this path. You always have your spirit team, your soul crew, God, you have your angels, your guardian angels, your archangels. You have so much access to help. However, you cannot receive help from the realm of spirit unless you ask. You have to make the request. You have to surrender your will to divine will and ask your angels to make, or God, or whoever you pray to make those decisions on your behalf. And then what do you have to do? You have to surrender, right? If you ask for something or someone to take control, you can't then, take control of the wheel yourself. You have to actually believe in what you're surrendering to. Okay. We have Lemuria. I swear to God, this came out previously. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So many of these cards and these messages, as we weave them together, are pointing to this idea that we collectively, we don't actually believe that this can happen, this heaven on earth. And what I've been saying for about 7 months now, it came out in an earlier reading and I've just attached onto it. And I keep telling everybody and anyone I see, we are holding a frequency of a planet that does not exist yet, everyone. Do you understand that? I'm going to say it again. We are holding, meaning we are embodying a frequency of a planet that does not exist yet. Do you understand how difficult this is? This is why this journey is so freaking painful, because we are literally swimming upstream against the current. We have currents and currents of old, limited energies flowing through us, and we are like standing in the storm. We are, oh my God, I just realized we are this little creature who's battling the wind, the strong southern winds, trying to hold our ground for a frequency in a planet that does not exist yet. What does that actually look like? Meaning the way we're going to live has not arrived yet. We remember what I said in the beginning, that the world starts in the realm of energy first. It starts with us holding the frequency, and then slowly but surely through our consciousness, through critical mass thought, through what we're all contributing, the art we're creating, what we're writing, our interests, what we're, the groups we're creating, the friendships, the connections, the way we raise our family, the way we educate people, though everything is changing. We are holding all of this infrastructure of a planet that does not exist yet in our physical vessels. We are embodying this frequency and vibrating at this wild heaven on earth vibration. And it's up to us to do whatever it takes to nurture this vibration. That's all you have to do, is just be responsible for your vibration. And most importantly, be responsible for when you get pulled off of your vibration. That's your only job, is to babysit this frequency and stay in it as much as you can. Of course, we're human. We're going to fall out of it probably often. So don't be hard on yourself. But if you notice something negative or something down, if you cannot transmute that energy, if you cannot pull them into your peace, pull them up to your vibration, you have to cut it out. You have to cut it out of your life. You have to cut that friend off, that job. You have to leave that apartment. You have to leave that house. Whatever it is, this is how I'm sorry, I'm harping on this because I want you to understand how much power you have as an energetic being. You have so much power to affect the wide environment around you. Our frequency has a profound reach. And if you're someone who's a healer or energy worker, you understand, like I just did Reiki on my friend in frickin' Canada and he felt it instantaneously. Like instantly, he was going through a hard time and instantly felt the grounding, felt the resequencing of the energy, the rebalancing. There are no limitations here when you're working in the quantum field. There's nothing blocking you from maintaining this frequency and seeding the planet with your intention. I feel like I can go, this is like its own whole reading of how, I should make a how-to of how to actually do this. Yeah, I'm laughing. And then we have what lights you up. We have other cards. Let me just get all of them to see. Beautiful. Dance with your life. Do something to change your energy. Absolutely. Do something. Do anything that helps you maintain whatever frequency in you feels delicious. This came out in reverse, but I'm going to read it upright. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Beautiful. This could not be more like in alignment with my story. In order to do this, in order to embody the frequency of heaven on earth, and mind you, this is your heaven on earth. This is not some general collective heaven on earth. This is like, how does your soul translate this idea? It's whatever ignites. It doesn't matter. Like, this is what's so wild, you guys. It doesn't matter what your bliss looks like. We're not all trying to row in the same direction towards the same bliss. That would be crazy. And it would make no sense on just like a logistical standpoint if everyone in the world had the exact same bliss. So this is up to you to cultivate and excavate what is your heaven on earth and to embody the frequency. Something we all can achieve is a high vibrational frequency. What causes that vibrational frequency does not matter as long as you're in this high vibrational frequency. Yeah, what lights you up? What ignites you? Do something to change your energy. What would do that? Do some radical discontinuity, meaning like do something totally out of left field. Go dance in the rain. Go book a last minute trip. Try some food you would have never tried. Do something that is totally out of character for you and just see how it feels. And then we have releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. This is about boundaries around your new frequency, boundaries around your new life, what did I say earlier? Cutting out people, places, and things that no longer serve your frequency. I understand that in the 3D world, some of this stuff seems really hard to do. Like if you feel like a really toxic energy in your house and, you want to move or get rid of it or sell it, it's going to require a lot of 3D steps in order to do that. However, if you are holding a frequency, a very high frequency, vibrating closer to your new truth, you're going to find the perfect realtor, you're going to find the perfect buyer, and it's just going to unfold because you're not meant to be there. So the universe is going to help you to not be there by selling your house. The universe takes orders from your frequency. So if you're putting out a frequency that you could never move, you could never change, you can never get that job, you can never lose the weight, you could never have that divine counterpart, you can blah, 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 blah. If you're putting out that frequency, the universe is going to be like, okay, you don't believe this, then that's what you're calling in. If you believe you can't, then okay. The universe just says yes to the frequency, whatever that frequency is. So it's really important that you understand that you are the captain of the ship. I don't know why I said shit. That's pretty hilarious. You're the captain of the shit as well. I mean, that's just real. You are the captain of whether it's rainbows and sunshine or shitty dark storms. So, keep yourself in that sort of alignment. Okay, I'm wiped out. Let's get some self-care cards, Spirit, or do we want divine guidance? Nope, we're doing some self-care if I could only find it. All right, Spirit, anything else? Thank you. Anything else? Anything else you want to leave these beloveds with? What do we need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? I'm shuffling this wrong. Hold on. I'm all turned around. Captain of the shit is like really funny to me. I mean, it's just true, right? When your life is full of shit and chaos, like it's there because of us, right? So it's up to us to steer the ship, is what I was trying to say, in a different direction. Okay, maybe we're just meant to have these two. What do we have here? We have, interesting that these came out together. We have risk and we have changing course. Let's read. Take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. This is a wonderful, wonderful card because it's just true. Everything can be used on this ascension path. Everything can be like all roads lead to Rome. All experience leads to awakening. You'll either get an experience that's similar to like a patterned experience, meaning you feel like you're banging your head against the wall over and over again. Maybe you're dating the same type of person over and over again and they consistently hurt you over again. You're having that cyclical experience because it's up to you to change course. So if you're having, or maybe you keep changing jobs and the people at each job treat you the same way, and it's not good. It's up to you to take responsibility for the frequency that you're pushing out. Okay, and then we have, what is this? Changing course. A closed door is an invitation from life to move in an even better direction. It's time to change course. Didn't I say, where was that? I'm trying to look. Didn't I say earlier that so many of us, when the universe makes something really difficult for us, so many of us are addicted to that chaos and the conflict and the arduous nature of life that we dig in our heels, we dig our claws in, and we hold on to something that is desperately trying to leave our lives. The message here, feminines and masculines, is to let it leave your life. Let it go, okay? Beautiful. All right, anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Let's get some feminine Buddha wisdom here. All right, sorry, I feel bad when I shuffle on camera because it's probably hurting your eyeballs, but I'll try to shuffle above. What do we need to know? What would you like to leave us with? What do we need to know? What should we focus on? What are we letting go of? Thank you. I just saw a flip. Yes. Okay. Purify the mind with wholesome thoughts. Calmness arises. Beautiful. This is just another nod that the energy starts with you. Again, you are both the captain of the shit and captain of your ship. Remember, the frequency starts with you. We are holding a frequency in our bodies, in our physical vessels of a planet that does not exist yet. We are the first ones on the front lines holding this frequency. And when you are that person, you are met with even more chaos because it's like the winds are stronger against the buildings or branches that refuse to move. And so it's really important that you hold your center in this time of chaos and rebellion and pushback. I don't know why I'm saying it's so complicated, but it's like we're holding let me say it like this. We're holding a frequency of a planet that doesn't exist yet. And in order for that planet to come in, the old world, the old planet, the old ideas and structures and beliefs have to die. Now, let me give you a heads up. I wouldn't be a spiritual director if I didn't give you a heads up. When you are holding this new vision and you are basically illuminating to others where we are stuck, people who do not want this change to come in are going to rebel against the energy. Now, what that looks like, I don't know. It could mean that your light is going to trigger their darkness and you mirroring back to them where they are not evolved or lacking or where they have to do work might cause them to be activated in some capacity. I mean, I've seen a lot of things in my life and, some people can get triggered and they just have a very typical nervous system response. Maybe it's a fight, flight, freeze, fawn, whatever, like a typical whatever. There are some people on the planet that get so triggered and activated that they pick up arms and they fight. And what that looks like in the world, I have no idea. I mean, whole countries could be triggered. If you're into this sort of historical chakra system and historical self-esteem, I would look into Carolyn Mace's work. She's obsessed with history. She has a lot of different audios and bodies of work on like the chakra system of the planet, the chakra system of countries, and how when something happens in a country where which lowers their self-esteem, they often swing really hard in another direction to try to boost the self-esteem. Maybe they go to war. Maybe they try to take over different land. And it's really, really wild when you start dismantling this stuff that it's almost terrifying that our very like individual people can make these big sweeping decisions for an entire country or a planet even. It's very scary. And so I'm just giving you the heads up that as you hold this frequency, take care of yourself. And if you feel safe in any capacity, put a golden bubble of light around you. Ask your angels. I like to ask Archangel Michael for that blue light of protection, and also Archangel Raphael with that green light of healing. If I know who the antagonist is coming at me, I will pray for that person, place, country, body of people. I will pray for them. You have more power and agency than you think in the quantum field. You can change someone's heart. You can change someone's mind with just a prayer. Sorry, it's so true. And we forget it. We forget how powerful we are to affect change in the world around us. Okay, that's enough of me crying. Sending you all so much love. I hope this was supportive, and I will see you in the next one.